All right, guys, we are back. News, reviews, updates, tidbits, factoids, all that good shit that we love. And we have a lot of things to discuss. Let's get into it, Monty.
All right, let's talk some castings. Bob Odenkirk, Saul Goodman himself, has been cast in The Bear season two. What are your thoughts on this?
Uh, uh, sure. I mean, I guess. I mean, we had differing opinions about the Bear. I thought that it was just okay. A lot of people said that it was excellent. So, cool. I mean, when season two drops, I will watch, but it won't be like appointment television. And Bob Odenkirk certainly doesn't change that. As much as I think that he's talented, he's not going to change. Like he's not making me rush to watch season two of this. Let's just put it that way. What about you?
Yeah, I enjoyed The Bear. I think he fits right into this kind of cast. Like I can see him matching their chaotic energy for sure. So, yeah, I think he's a good fit. Um, Paul Rudd, Amy Adams, and Tessa Thompson have been cast in a movie called The Invite. The film follows a couple whose relationship is in a rut, so they invite over their neighbors who turn out to be hosting weekly orgies. This is my kind of movie. What are your thoughts on this?
Is this coming to theaters?
Yes, sir.
Oh God. I'm not. No thanks. I'm not gonna support this bullshit.
Why?
It's gonna be one of those things where like people think that it's gonna be like this, raunchy comedy, and it's just gonna be ass. You see what I did there? See what I did? Ass.
Mm.
Ah. Okay, sorry.
Good
Go ahead,
one.
Monty. What do you think?
Yeah, like I said, it's my kind of movie. I love the raunchiness. And didn't Trey pitch some shit like this on our?
I think he may have. Yeah, actually, yeah.
Wasn't Paul running it too? Like,
Was he? That's kind of crazy. What the fuck?
shout out Trey
I,
for listening, and to the viewers, listen to our Pitch My Movie podcast that we had a couple weeks back,
It was months, but
months
yeah, I
back.
saw him. I saw him pitch it on Twitter again. I was rolling laughing.
I know on Twitter he pitched the Static Shock, the exact same.
Yeah.
Shout out Trey.
All right.
Mortal Kombat 2, the live action is eyeing the boy star Carl Urban as Johnny Cage. What are your thoughts on this potential casting?
It's interesting because first of all, the first movie was just horrible, so I'm not sure why Carl Urban would even want to test this franchise. But um, Johnny Cage is American, and obviously Carl Urban's from like Australia or some shit.
Mhm.
So I guess he's gonna have to work an accent, or maybe we'll just get Australian Johnny Cage, might, what the fuck ever. This,
Ooh,
yeah, I don't. I mean, I don't care. Shout out to Carl Urban. I do think he's great. I mean, even all the way back in the Star Trek films, he's a great actor. But
Bones.
even in Hercules and Xena, he had a small part in there. But I don't care. No.
Yeah, I mean I love me some Carl Urban. Whoa. Pause.
Whoa.
But it's just a weird choice. Like Johnny Cage is just so like, I think of like the American, like, just super American, I mean, I'm
Right.
sure you can do it. Carl Urban's very talented, but that's just a kind of an interesting choice. And I think, hey, if anybody's gonna bring that Mortal Kombat series back to life, it's gonna be a character like Johnny Cage. So
They need to
sure.
do something, that's for sure, because that shit was ass.
It was. Rihanna has been cast as a Smurfette in the upcoming Smurfs movie. She will be creating new music for the film as well. Any thoughts
Mm.
on this?
Wasn't there already a Smurfs movie? Because this is
Yeah,
a
what
sequel?
a couple. There was a couple Smurfs movies.
Okay, okay.
I don't know if
Yeah,
this is a continuation or something new because I could have
it's
sworn
like
there was
a
already Smurfette in those old movies. So.
right. Yeah, who cares? Shout out to Rihanna and the Navy again, but I'm not gonna watch a fucking Smurfs movie just for a new 3 minute song from Rihanna.
Well, guess who will, bitch? Me. It's
I'll
so
check
funny.
your
Like
Instagram.
when they cast Beyonce and Rihanna in these roles, they just want the fucking music. They don't give a fuck about the voice
No,
acting.
yeah, 100%. Yeah.
They want the marketing and they want the music, and they will
Yes.
get both in a good amount. We have the full cast for the animated Transformers origin movie called Transformers One. We have Chris Hemsworth as Optimus Prime. We have Brian Tyree Henry as Megatron. We have Scarlett Johansson as Elita. We have Keegan Michael Key from Key and Peele as Bumblebee. He's in every animated thing. Like they need like one black dude quota, he'll check it off. We got John Hamm as Sentinel Prime, and we have Lawrence Fishburne as Alpha Trion. Do any of those names kind of catch your eye, or are you excited for just this animated Transformers movie in general because of those
Yeah.
names?
Yeah. Transformers in any shape or form can go to hell.
Oh,
But this animated list is cool. Um, I guess what's the nigga that does Optimus Prime regularly? Peter
Peter Cullen.
Cullen. Yeah, I guess he was just busy. He didn't want to do it, so now we have to hear Thor. Thor. The
Autobots, roll out.
right. Oh boy. Scarlett Johansson, Brian Tyree Henry. Shout out to y'all guys. I'm not gonna pay attention to this. This is coming on Netflix or something.
I'm not sure, but so wait, hold on. Are you not a Transformers fan? Is what I'm getting at?
That's correct.
I never knew that.
Yes, you did. We talk about this so many times, bro. Transformers is just it's too repetitive for me personally, and I'm just
like the live action movies are just all their content.
Yeah, the live action. Yeah, I mean, as a kid growing up, I never watched the cartoon, but
yeah.
the live action films are just, woo. Yeah, the last one I saw had Mark Wahlberg in it, and I was just like, what the fuck has happened to Transformers? I actually enjoyed the ones with Shia LaBeouf and Megan Fox.
Sure. But I mean, this isn't live action, so I don't see why you wouldn't give it a chance. And I think the lore is there. The lore is cool. I mean, Transformers started off as a toy, and then it was an animated medium. So I mean, hey, these are some pretty cool names. I'd like to see it. So I'm kind of excited for this one.
Yeah,
I'm sorry you aren't.
Check it.
Netflix has renewed Sweet Tooth for a third and final season. I'm currently watching Sweet Tooth season 2. Have you heard about the show, or do you care about the show at all?
I remember what you were saying about it, season 1, how it was kind of a slug to get through, but you watched the whole thing, so you had to continue or some shit like that. So yeah. I guess season 2 is going the same way. I don't
know. Halfway through.
Yeah. Isn't this like a DC show too?
Well, it's not a DC show, but Sweet Tooth was a DC comic, like an off-brand, not off-brand, like an offshoot DC comic, like how Hellboy is. Like it's not really DC, but DC publishes it. But yeah, this is one, like Sweet Tooth is one of those shows where like he like constantly checked like the Netflix how much time left in the show. He's like, oh my god, 30 minutes left.
Damn.
Jesus, yeah. So anyway, we have the final season of Top Boy comes out in September on Netflix. I never watched Top Boy. I know I had a lot of fans. Mm-hmm. The trailer's out now for people who want to see it. Kung Fu Panda 4 includes Po trying to find a new replacement for the role of the Dragon Warrior. There will be a new villain this time named the Chameleon. I don't know if that's his name, but he will be named he'll be a chameleon, and he can summon villains from Po's past. So I guess we get the villains from Po's trilogy. Mm-hmm. Are you a Kung Fu Panda fan? Do you care about this, or are you kind of outgrown it? What's up?
Yeah, no. I mean, I feel like it has been a while since the third, but I still stand by like this is like a really decent trilogy. Like I like really enjoy all 3 films. And I'm excited for this 4th installment that I never thought would come. So yeah, I'm here for this for sure.
Yeah, I am too. I actually never watched part 3. I don't know why. Like I just never got around. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I wasn't well into my adulthood when it came out. But I do need to watch part 3. I think part 1 and 2 are really good movies, like you said. And actually, the fight choreo in these movies is like not like it's like thought out. Like they don't just like put like it's well put together. I have to admit it.
Yeah.
So yeah, shout out Kung Fu Panda. Shout out Jack Black. A sequel to Dodgeball is in the works with Vince Vaughn set to return. We had announced it was rumored in production a couple weeks ago, and now it's finally here. It's happening. Are you a fan of the original Dodgeball? And what are your thoughts on this?
It's one of the greatest comedies of all time, especially in my lifetime. This movie it's like it's one of those movies that, as I always say, like if it's on, you're going to watch it. It's just so fucking funny. This is honestly before I even knew who Vince Vaughn and Ben Stiller even were. So like that kind of made it like even better for me. Just the fact that like I wasn't focused on the actor. I was focused on the performances and the actual comedy. Yeah, it's a really fun movie, man. Like I'm super excited for this, even though it's fucking almost 20 years since since the original one came out. But yeah, man, Dodgeball is coming back, baby. I can't wait.
Yeah, same here. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
Yeet.
Yeah, I love Dodgeball, and honestly, it's such a classic. Like they can make this sequel, it can be horrible, and it won't even matter because like I'll just refer back to the first one. Like, but if it is good, it's like a win-win. If it is good, then we can add something more to Dodgeball, right. And also I want to see Ben Stiller. I haven't seen him in anything, and like I love Ben Stiller, so hopefully he comes back as a villain because he was hilarious. And last bit of sequel news: a Joanna Man sequel is in the works. Did you see
no,
this
it's not. Stop playing. No,
Joanna Man's back.
You're lying. You're trolling.
I swear to God, Joanna Man's coming back.
Starring?
The actor from the original.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
This nigga's like 60. Like, what the fuck? Like, he gonna go back to the WNBA?
The Joanna man, bitch.
No, this is fake news. I'm calling it. This is fake news.
Really?
You must have got this from like a troll Twitter page or something.
I got
I'm
it from
not buying it.
Shade Room, credible source.
The Shade Room.
Yeah.
Wow.
Would you be here for a Joanna man sequel?
Fuck no. Not with the same nigga. No, bro, like dead ass. Like he's like, okay. He's probably like 55. Like he's too old to pass as like a 25-year-old or even like a 40-year-old woman.
He's a man. It doesn't matter. He can be 50-year-old and dominate the WNBA. Wait, let me stop. Okay. Jada Pinkett Smith's Red Table Talk has been canceled by Facebook Watch. I'm sorry, her show Red Table Talk has been canceled by Facebook Watch because Facebook Watch was canceled by Meta. But she's looking for a new home. I'm sure this will get picked up super easily. It's a pretty popular show. The director of Crazy Rich Asians said that The Rock called him pissed off because he wasn't offered a role in the movie. What are your thoughts as the avid Rock fan that we know that we have here?
Yeah, this is funny. I honestly don't believe this to be accurate, but even if it is,
oh really?
Yeah,
You don't believe
it's
it?
funny. No, I mean, I saw the interview where the director was he kind of said it in a joking manner, but either way, it's hilarious. It's on brand, and I'm here for it. Complain.
Bro, I've been trying to tell you this nigga was nuts for years, and it just won't click for you. The Rock is actually, excuse me.
Yeah,
insane.
That's right. Watch your fucking mouth, bitch. You can't even get the words out your mouth.
And also, is this nigga even fucking Asian?
I mean, he's
half black.
Yeah, but they're like Polynesian, which is like descended from Asia or some shit. So,
And like I said, he had no business being in that fucking movie.
yeah, he did.
Have you heard? First of all, I can't even see him in that movie. Like, I'm trying to picture what the fuck his role would be.
Yeah.
Have you heard about the Jenna Ortega Wednesday flack she's been getting?
No.
Okay, so she's been going on a podcast or two, I believe, and she basically said that she was basically had to come in and like change so many things about the show, which ended up being to the show's benefit. But she's basically like kind of like bashing the writers, and like a lot of writers are like, as an actress, that's just, for somebody so young in her career, like that's just something that you just don't admit, even if it's true. Basically, she was saying like there was like a love triangle that she kind of tampered down in the show that she didn't want to do. She said it was the show was originally very like kiddie, like in like Nickelodeon kind of feel. She kind of made it more dark. She added more scares, more blood. Like basically, she said like the show was ass until I made.
I'm about to say, it sounds like she saved the show.
Yeah, but just that's not professional to say, basically.
Sure.
And what are your thoughts on that? I mean, you can get more context when we're done recording, but just on what you've heard so far, what do you think about that? Should she have admitted that or said it in that way?
I mean, yeah, obviously it's not a good look to speak publicly about things like that, especially just because you don't want to mess up any future plans. I don't think you should consider yourself a made man off of this one show, however good it was and however great you were. We see with the Jonathan Majors thing that anything can be taken away just like that. So obviously she hasn't done anything illegal, but the reality is if you're a liability and a company sees you that way, they're not going to want to work with you. So this is, I mean, you've got to kind of take that PC route, which is, it's funny. Kevin Hart gets like a lot of flack for always being PC, but these are the type of situations that he actively tries to avoid. And, it's not cool when he does it. But here people are having a problem with Jenna Ortega speaking her mind. So I don't know. I mean, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. I mean, obviously, it would have been smarter to, lie, I guess, or just give a PC answer. But she spoke her mind, so you got to live with it now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't look too much into the situation. My only fear for her is that studios, writers might look at her and be like, okay, she's a little bit too outspoken. Like I don't want to bring her on if she's going to be trying to change my script, or if she does change the script, vocally tell everybody. Like, I don't know. That's my only fear for her, but I think she'll have a successful career regardless. Let's talk some trailers. We have the trailer for Disney's new animated film Wish, which is being released in November 22nd in theaters. What are your thoughts on this movie?
So this is the one where you make wishes and like there's some bad guy who's trying to steal everybody's wish. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to use a phrase of yours. I feel like I've just kind of outgrown this type of fairy tale bullshit. The trailer didn't excite me at all. but like I'm not 10 anymore. So maybe it's just not meant to excite me personally. So what do you think about this?
Yeah, almost the same sentiments. I was surprised that they changed up their animation style. Disney has a pretty standard animation kind of thing that they do. This looks more like a 2D 3D blend, which could be interesting, I guess, from the optics perspective. And they totally ripped off Jirachi too from Pokemon, by the way. Like that star in the trailer, like, oh, I grant wishes and I'm a star. Like, bitch, that's fucking Jirachi. Disney, you're about to get fucking sued because what the fuck. Anyway, moving on. We have the trailer for Taika Waititi's new film Next Goal Win, starring Michael Fassbender. Comes out November 17th in theaters. What are your thoughts on this trailer?
This trailer was kind of funny. I mean, and the fact that it was based off of, I guess, a kind of true story is what they said in the trailer about, this Samoan soccer team that just sucks ass so bad. Like they've never scored a goal. Uh, but does this look interesting to me? Like, am I going to be rushing to the theaters to see another Taika Waititi production? No, I'm not. I'm sorry. But shout out to Michael Fassbender. I couldn't recognize him at first. Like I almost had to do a double take. I was like, Michael Fassbender, who? But it was much easier once he shaved all the shit off. But yeah, I don't care about this. Sorry.
Yeah, it kind of looked like Kicking and Screaming for adults. You remember that movie with Will Ferrell?
I do not.
Okay, well, it's like he's teaching like a kid's soccer team and they suck, and he kind of coaches them to greatness. Kind of
Rebound?
reminded me. I guess that movie has like a lane, I guess. But yeah, it's Rebound Martin Lawrence. That's funny.
Martin Lawrence, baby.
Rebound. Wow, that gave me some memories.
Yeah.
But yeah, it kind of reminded me of that for adults. And I think this is honestly, I will probably check this out because this is when Taika's at his best. I think maybe Marvel might not be for him anymore, but when he does these kind of smaller scale movies where he can just have full control, I think this is when he's like, I love Jojo Rabbit. There's a movie that he did, Hunt for the Wildebeest. I heard it was really good as well. So these are his kind of movies. So I'll probably check it out. And if this one's bad, I might be done with him, but we'll see. We have the trailer for the new Gran Turismo movie, which is based off the video game, of course.
Yeah.
Releasing in August. So the trailer said based on a true story. Have you ever heard about this shit? I feel like I would have heard about some shit like this. This sounded pretty crazy.
So I didn't get a chance to check this trailer out.
Okay.
But I've played the game, so it's interesting that they're making a movie out of this. But yeah, no, I've never heard about this in real life. No.
Okay, well, in the trailer, a kid who's so good at the game Gran Turismo is entered into a contest where if he's the best at the video game, he can actually compete in actual Gran Turismo races. And he's that good at the video game, and his talent transitions into the actual racing. I'm like, why haven't I heard about this? That sounds fucking crazy. Like he's like a professional driver now. Anyway, if it is true, interesting. But the trailer didn't do much for me, to be honest. On this one, I'll probably have to wait to see what other people are saying. But I never played Gran Turismo either, so I don't have any other prior context about it.
It's just a standard racing game, but the graphics are amazing. Typically, it's like a launch console. It's like a launch game. So like when the Xbox 360 came out, it came out. When the Xbox One, the PS4, like when all that shit came out, it pretty much launched with Gran Turismo. But yeah, whatever.
So like its biggest competitor is like Need for Speed or something?
I don't think they make those anymore.
Oh, okay.
I don't think.
See how much I know about video games. Okay. We have the trailer for the Hunger Games prequel, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, and coming to theaters November 17th. What are your thoughts on this trailer?
Yeah, man, I fell off of Hunger Games hard. Like I saw the first two films. There's only three, right?
Yeah, it's just three.
Yeah, so I saw the first two films. No,
it's four. Because it's Hunger Games, Mockingbird, Mockingjay, and then isn't it part 1 and 2 of the third one?
Probably, I don't know.
Okay.
Well, yeah, anyway, I saw the first one and I was like, okay, this is a cool concept. I'm kind of digging it. And then when I saw part 2, I was like, all right, this is stupid. Like I'm cool if I never see any of this again. And the prequel trailer just kind of brought me back to part 1, essentially. Where obviously their whole thing is kind of like I guess we could just get in the backstory and like the Hunger Games itself and kind of how all of this stuff started, like all the weirdness around it. But I'd be lying if I said I cared about this. I really don't. Hunger Games just didn't strike me. So yeah.
Well, yeah, I am a Hunger Games fan. This trailer didn't do anything for me. Like it looked like fanfic, like a fan made film on YouTube or something like that. It had a weird vibe to it. Like we got some pretty big names in it. We got Peter Dinklage, Viola Davis.
Yeah, Viola Davis.
Um, but yeah, I'll check it out for sure, just because I am a fan of Hunger Games. But this trailer did not impress me, to be honest. Last trailer here, guys, is for Dune Part 2 coming out November 3rd. What are your thoughts on this trailer?
I'll let you go first on this, Monty. This is your most anticipated film of the year.
It is. It is. Just like Part 1 in terms of the trailer, it just looks epic, man. I love movies with large scale, and that go for the epic reach, and this looks just like, I think Part 1 is a perfect movie. I really do. Like, and that's crazy that the fact that it's not even a complete story. I think it's perfect, and so I'm just so excited to see if they can wrap it up, in a satisfying way. We saw Paul Atreides riding the sandworm, which is crazy. We're obviously going to get more Zendaya. That was a big criticism from like a lot of fans of Part 1, and she was barely in it, but she's heavily marketed. So obviously we're going to get more of them. I'm excited to see it, man. It just looks like everything I want. So yeah.
Interesting. It's interesting, like the impact that the film had on each of us individually. You really love it, which is great. I thought it was solid. I mean, I enjoyed it for what it was, but I haven't seen it since it debuted a year and a half ago or whenever it was. And honestly, I don't think about it at all. So when I saw this trailer, I was like, oh yeah, Dune's coming out this year. It just kind of reminded me of like the world and all the goofy looking characters and Batista. Shout out to my boy Batista, man, he working. But like in terms of the plot, I'm gonna have to rewatch the original Dune because I honestly don't remember much in terms of the plot. But yeah, I mean, it looked just as epic and just as grand as the first one did. So I'm sure it'll be great. But I'm just not super excited for this like you are.
Yeah, man, I think Part 1 is definitely worth a rewatch on your behalf. I think you might appreciate it a little bit more, because I did on second watch as well. Let's talk some Marvel news. James Gunn, who we will discuss in a little bit in our movie reviews, says that he would not have let Star-Lord kill Gamora without hesitation if she asked him. Wait, hold on, I'll fuck that up. James Gunn said that he would have let Star-Lord kill Gamora if she let him without hesitation. As we know, in Infinity War, he paused and did not when she asked him to kill him when Thanos was coming, because she had the location to the Soul Stone. He said he also would not have let Star-Lord punch Thanos and doom the whole universe. He said, his quote, "They did some things that I would not have wanted to." Is this a shot at the Russo brothers? I mean, it sounds like it. But these are his characters. These are his babies. What are your thoughts on just his sentiments and what he said about this?
I think it's more of that. It's just that like these are the characters that he essentially brought to life himself. These are especially Chris Pratt and all them, like they were basically handpicked by him. So he's you hear like, probably like a crazy noise. But yeah, I mean, there we go. But yeah, anyway, yeah, I understand his protectiveness of these characters, but ultimately I don't think it was warranted. I mean, the Russo brothers had a certain story to tell and they had to get there somehow. So yeah, I mean, the Guardians were just D-rated characters in the Avengers anyway. So yeah.
Do you feel like it fell out of character when he did that, or do you think it was just kind of blended into the story?
I don't think it fell out of character.
Yeah, I don't either, to be honest.
So yeah.
Yeah, I don't either. I agree with you. Margot Robbie is heavily rumored to have been offered the role of Sue Storm. Offered. Now, that doesn't mean she accepted it yet, but she's been offered the role, just like how Adam Driver has been offered the role of Reed Richards.
Right.
What are your thoughts if she gets the role of Sue Storm? Can you see her pairing with Adam Driver well, or do you even care about this at all?
I mean, you're the resident Fantastic Four fan.
Stop saying that, stupid.
Because you are. I mean, you're the one that just loves the Fantastic
Four.
Okay,
but nigga, you can still have an opinion. God,
Marvel's first family. Sorry, bro. Like, I definitely do not want Harley fucking Quinn playing Sue Storm. But like that's like a personal bias I have. Like I don't like characters playing both sides. Like you pick one or the other. But do I think that she could do it? Of course. Yeah. I mean, she's proven that she can act to an extent. So yeah, I mean, I think that she absolutely has the ability to be Sue fucking Storm, but do I want to see that? No.
Go ahead. Yeah, I can totally see her being Sue Storm. And that's really that on that. I mean, I'm more so concerned with her pairing with the others and her and Adam Driver. I'm pretty sure that they can work well together as well. It would be kind of weird seeing Harley Quinn in Marvel, but that's a whole different persona. So I think we wouldn't even notice that much after a while. Next bit of not really news, just more something I saw on Twitter that really stood out to me. I didn't even pick up until now. The whole thing would, as we know, Deadpool 3 would be like a time travel movie, like the TVA.
Yep.
I totally forgot that in Deadpool 2 at the end of the movie, this nigga went and rewrote he went back in time and like changed a lot of things. So that kind of really makes sense. I'm just wondering if you recall that, and do you think that's going to probably have like why the TVA is going to be intervening is because of that thing that he did at the end of Deadpool 2?
So I didn't see Deadpool 2, if you recall. I only saw Deadpool
Oh,
1.
oh my God. Okay.
But I'm 100% positive that it's completely unrelated and they're not even going to mention that. So, yeah.
Well, that opinion doesn't mean shit. Nigga, watch Deadpool 2.
I don't want to. I wasn't a huge fan of Deadpool 1.
Okay. All right. Apparently Grant Gustin's Flash almost made a cameo in the Flash movie. Okay, now we're on DC News, guys, if you can't tell. In the Flash movie, but there wasn't enough room to include his character. As a fan of the Flash TV series on CW, would you have wanted to see Grant Gustin's Flash in the new Ezra Miller Flash movie?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it would have been payback for Ezra coming to do the TV series of The Flash, which was a great moment in the Crisis on Infinite Earth spinoff that they did. I would absolutely love it. Honestly, I would geek out if I saw Grant Gustin on the big screen because I think he deserves it. I mean, The Flash actually just wrapped, like the final episode played this past Tuesday, I believe. And a lot of what I'm saying is that like it wrapped up brilliantly. The final episode was great. Like so and people are praising Grant Gustin's performance, which is hilarious. I know you hate him personally. So yeah, I mean, I think it would have been awesome, but sucks that it can't happen.
Yeah, I genuinely hate his. I don't hate him. I hate his interpretation of Barry Allen. I don't think that's how Barry Allen would act. Do you still watch The Flash? Are you planning on watching the finale?
No.
Oh, okay.
Not at all. No.
No.
I'm like 4 seasons behind. I'm not committing to that.
It's so funny, bro. Every Flash fan that I know fell off at like around the same time. I'm like, who's watching this shit? So somebody is,
yeah.
Jason Momoa, this is just funny to me. He says that he co-wrote a 50-page treatment for Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, which is part 2, which had Aquaman, quote unquote, talking to the UN about what's happening with the melting ice caps. Warner Brothers picked it up, but most of it was changed in production. What are your thoughts on just Jason Momoa trying to write the fucking script?
Man. I think it's funny that he went like the like whole pollution route. Like this is why Aquaman doesn't get any fucking respect. Nobody gives a fuck about that, bro. Like I'm sorry, like obviously like it like in the real world like it's a real problem. But like this is comic books. This is make believe. We don't give a fuck about the pollution in the water and we're cutting off the water supply. Like niggas, like fight somebody, nigga. Like what the fuck? Like like, I mean, I would rather see another fucking Ocean Master story than that bullshit, which is crazy because I'm so sick of the Ocean Master shit. But yeah, Jason Momoa, please stop this. I'm so glad that they was like, oh yeah, we'll do it as long as you're Aquaman. Then they signed that contract. They was like, yeah, okay, we're gonna do this.
Bro, you took the words out of my mouth, bro. I'm like, Jason Momoa, keep your fucking global warming ass agenda out of this fucking movie, here, bro. Throw some hands, bitch.
Thank you.
And bro, like you said, I'm sure Warner Brothers is like, okay, I'll check it out. I'll check it out.
I'll get back to you.
Said, it is. So they like, nigga, get your foot. As soon as that nigga left the meeting room, they're like, get this nigga out of here. You're not writing this shit. Last bit of news is just something that Zack Snyder said on the panel, which you had some clear thoughts on Twitter, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Zack Snyder spoke on a panel stating that originally he had planned for the DCEU's Zeus, in extension, his daughter Wonder Woman, to be Kryptonian in origin. The internet went amok. There was half of the not even half. I think some of the internet was like, "Yeah, that's pretty cool." The other half was like, "How fucking dare you, Zack Snyder?" What are your thoughts on the gods of Olympus and the DCEU potentially have been Kryptonian in origin?
This doesn't matter to me because it can never happen. What do you think?
I know, but come on now. This is a podcast here. Like, what are your thoughts on if that would have came to fruition?
Oh, if it would have came to fruition, yeah, I would have been upset.
You would have?
Yeah, I mean, Wonder
Okay.
Woman's not fucking Kryptonian, so why are we doing this?
I
It's
hate you.
stupid. It's stupid. No, like it's literally stupid.
Yeah.
Like he's trying to change the origin of a character that came out in the fucking 1930s. Like just make a new character. Sorry. Go ahead, Monty. What do you think about this? Clearly you're excited.
I love Zack Snyder. I really do, and I think this is but he's made some questionable creative choices in his career regarding DC, to say the least. This would have been a horrible idea. I do think it's cool, like on the surface, like, oh, okay, that's something different. But like you said, that's just not true to Wonder Woman. That would take away so much of her, just who she is. Like, she's not Kryptonian. She's a fucking god. And so I don't know, but I do think it was a reach, it was a creative reach that I just think would be a miss. But he's had like weird choices. Like he said he wanted Bruce Wayne to fuck Lois Lane and have her son when Superman died, at the end of Batman vs Superman, and that was going to be that was going to be in his 2-part Justice League series if he had full control. And the studio was like, nigga, what? Like, Zack Snyder, I love you, bro, but you got some wild ideas, bro. But yeah,
That's crazy.
Rest in peace, Jerry Springer, dead at 79. He's been a part of a lot of households. Mine growing up, I used to always sneak and watch him. Rest in peace, OG. Even though I do think you have I'll save that for later. But what are your thoughts on that?
Jerry. Yeah. Yeah. RP. Yeah. I mean, I think most people, especially our age, grew up watching the show. So yeah, it's sad to see him pass. I think he died of cancer, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I mean, he had a good run. 79 years is a long life. So shout out to him.
And prayers for Jamie Foxx, guys. If you're not updated on his situation, he had a stroke while on set. He's been in the hospital for about 2-3 weeks now. His family's been asking for our prayers. We believe it's related to him having high blood pressure with a clot. So we don't know the outcome of this yet. It's still like honestly up in the air based on on the reports I'm getting. On
The
the
reports that I'm getting. This
on
nigga.
on the reports
CNN correspondent Modula Jones. What the fuck?
on the reports that I've seen. So, but seriously though, not rest in peace.
Yo, come on, man.
Jamie Foxx, we love you. Prayers up, man. Hope you have a speedy recovery. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, he posted on his Instagram yesterday that
That was his team.
he appreciates all the love. He's feeling blessed. So yeah, hopefully the situation is getting better. And I love how you just said that. Yeah, that's from his team. Like you just know. You're fucking hilarious. This nigga's calling shade room too much.
No, nigga, I'm the Woj film.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Oh,
I gotta turn on the what? Moj. You're funny. Okay.
Let's talk some TV and movie reviews. Did you watch any TV show that you want to review?
No.
Before I get
I
into mine?
watched. I have a film, but not a TV show.
Okay, I only watched one series on this pod, which was Bel Air season 2. Just want to say the fact that I was just so against this show's conception as me and you both were when we first heard it was announced. Like why the fuck would they remake The Fresh Prince of Bel Air as a classic? Leave it alone. I have to say I'm eating my words on that. Just because it's not a 90s style sitcom or a sitcom in general. It's just like literally like a drama, and it plays out like a drama. And I think it's really been interpreted quite well. And it's just kind of a testament to it earning its existence every time it comes on because I appreciate it. I really do. I like the show. I like it. The fact that it's out. It is kind of still reminiscent of All American to an extent, but I do see it gradually becoming its own thing with each and every episode. It does feel like a tad redundant at times, like I said, but I just like it. Like I like seeing how in the 90s when Fresh Prince first came out, it was well received because we got to see Black people successful and having their own trials and tribulations. We're not like Martin or living single or we're struggling. It's like a side of Black life that also exists as well. So same thing with this show. It's just different in terms of we can see just a successful Black family. Will's going through his little hood shit, but it's still refreshing in that sense. And so I like it now, and I'm excited for season 3. Overall, season 2 I thought was okay, just about the same as season 1. This is one of those shows where it's not going to be great ever, I don't think, but it's just I just like to watch it. It's just a good feel good kind of show. So yeah, I think it's worth to watch.
Got it.
3 movie reviews. Sorry, the first one is going to be Polite Society. Did you get a chance to watch this one?
I did.
Oh, you did? Really? Wow. First of all, guys, I'm surprised because he never takes my recommendations. I thought he was just yeah, okay, nigga, whatever. What are your thoughts on this movie?
You go first, Monty.
Oh no, I'm getting bad vibes. Okay. First, this movie was super stylistic to me, and it was unique right out the gate. Like this film did like a great job of like capturing, as you like to say, like with coming of age films, like just the heightened emotions of a teenager. Like at that age, everything is like the end of the world, and this movie did a really good job of capturing that. It was a different POV. We got South Asian, not yeah, we got South Asian representation, Pakistani, like Indian representation. It was really cool to see that. The fight scenes are over the top. It kind of reminded me of like Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Like they obviously knew the kind of vibe they were going for. And I thought they captured it quite well. It reminded me of all the best parts of a Miss Marvel series that was on Disney Plus. Like I loved Miss Marvel when it first debuted, like the first couple of episodes, and it kind of fell off a little bit towards the middle to me. But this movie was all the best parts of that, like without the bad, I guess, extent of Miss Marvel. So like the culture, the family, the stylistic choices, it was just really cool to see. It's so different and just so fresh to me. And the newcomer lead, her name is Priya Kinsara. I think she's a star in the making. Like just her facial expressions alone were just so cool and like not cool. It was just so great. And she had two friends in the movie that were really funny. Like it just felt so original. Like in this era of sequels and reboots, this is just a really cool, just original movie to kind of sit back and let it wash over you. And yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. Like I think it's worth it, guys, if you're looking for something new to watch. It's got a weird premise. Basically, like this woman wants to be like a stunt woman. That's her only goal in life. She's a high schooler, but it takes some weird paths. But I think it made the movie all the much more better for that. But what are your thoughts on the movie?
What'd you give this film?
I give it a B plus.
Got it. So I appreciated some of the things that the movie tried to do. I appreciated the the chapter with the title cards. It made sure that we understood that it was a bunch of small stories gathering into this one story. I appreciated the representation. Even the random fight scenes, but ultimately, man, this movie just didn't really make me feel anything. Excuse me. I was kind of digging like the plot in terms of like I didn't really see that coming, like from like you said, from like this goofy movie about this girl wanting to be a stunt woman to clones. Okay, whatever. But like it didn't like take me out the movie. Like honestly, like I kind of enjoyed like the weird plot that it tried to follow. But I don't know. I found myself at certain points in the film either bored or just uninterested with just, and I think the coming of age thing that you mentioned about everything. God damn, everything's like so serious. Like your emotions are heightened. Like it's the end of the world for everything. Like that got old really quickly. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, I didn't love this. I wouldn't recommend this. I gave it a C.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you felt that way. Well, I'm sorry I recommended it. This movie was hilarious to me.
I wanted to see it anyway.
You didn't laugh?
Of course, I laughed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
C isn't bad. It's just average.
Yeah, it's not.
This is an average movie to me.
Okay. Well, me and the other critics online disagree. Next review here is for Sisu. Did you get a chance to watch this one?
Oh, is that out already? No, I didn't see that. I watched something else on Netflix.
Okay, well, just really briefly, this is from the producers of John Wick, another revenge flick. You guys know I love me a good revenge tale. And this is how you do it, man. This was an hour and a half. You're in and out of there, and this movie knew what it was from the get-go, bro. Like it gets going, and I just had so much fun with this movie. It takes place in Finland during like Nazi occupancy during like the end of World War II, and then they take full advantage of that, that time period that they're in. Like, first of all, Finland is a beautiful country, and this movie like takes full advantage of just showing off Finland, like just kind of showing off how beautiful the country is, and this looks so great. And a lot of these kills in this movie, bro, were better than like 95% of the horror kills I see like in Scream or and Megan. Like it's got some really good creative kills in this movie that I was like, wow, that's super interesting and just so creative. There's one scene in particular that takes place underwater. If you see it, you'll know exactly what it is. You're like, what the fuck? Like that's really kind of crazy. And yeah, like I said, it's a simple plot. It's got a simple man. He don't say no words in the entire movie. He just kill niggas. And like I said, it's kind of like I said, it's like that John Wick Part 1 where the world's not too big yet. It's just a small, simple story. I think you'll like it. But it's got great storytelling. And this is one of those movies where I don't want a sequel. I can see him doing it. I don't want a sequel, man. Just leave it how it is. It's like perfect how it is, man. I gave this one a B plus as well. A really really good watch.
Interesting.
What's the movie you saw on Netflix?
So I'm just realizing that this is a old movie, but it's called I See You on Netflix. It came out in 2019.
Okay.
It was an interesting premise. I mean, all I was told was that it was a horror film, and it turned out not really to be that way. The first half of the movie, I'm not gonna lie, it was like it was borderline ass. But the second half like completely salvaged it. It made this not only like a good movie, but maybe even like a great movie, which is
Mm,
weird. Like I'm not sure how you can be a great movie and have a bad. It wasn't bad. It was just. I mean, I guess in hindsight it was set up, but upon a first viewing, I'm not sure that you would even look at it as set up. You know what I mean? So
right.
like maybe this is just one of those films that like you have to watch twice to appreciate the first half. But yeah, man, the second half is just so thoroughly entertaining. Lots of twists and turns. I would absolutely like watch this movie again. Um, I I thought that uh, this is like a new director to me, and of course I didn't write his name down, but um, the way the film was shot in certain scenes, because a lot of it deals with POV. Um, so like just the way it was shot from different people's POV, just the way that everything came together as a story was just like really good. I was like surprised that this movie was so good. I was like, what the fuck, like this little random ass Netflix movie, like why is this movie so good? But yeah, like I really enjoyed it, man. I highly recommend it. It's called again I See You. It's on Netflix, and you know it's one of those movies where like the payoff is kind of everything. And, you know, in certain films, the payoff doesn't work. But in this one, like they absolutely nailed everything. Like by the time, by the time the movie was over, I was just like, whoa, that was pretty fucking good. Like I had a great time watching that. So yeah, I See You on Netflix.
Okay, might check that one out. I owe you. I think I recommended Polite Society. So yeah, okay.
Well, now that I've hyped it up, you're not gonna like it. So that's how it works.
No, that's true. But I put it in my notes. Now for the big review, guys, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Um, go ahead. What are your thoughts? Well, yeah, go ahead. What are your thoughts on the movie?
So I enjoyed it, man. I mean, the movie was what it was. I for once I allowed myself to kind of believe that any of them were going to die. Like I totally bought into the rocket drama of the film. Based on all the promotion for it, like they were heavily implying that somebody was going to die.
Spoiler
Um,
review, by the way, guys. Spoiler review.
Heavily implying that somebody was going to die, maybe even Rocket. And it's one of those things where like you don't even realize like how much you give a fuck about some of these Guardians. Like I mean, obviously, it's easier to get like a raw emotion out of Rocket because he's an animal and he's cute or whatever. But um, did I know that I would give a fuck about Peter Quill dying in space? Because like I was like close to tears. Like wow, like this is how it ends for Star Lord. Like okay, this is weird. Like I was upset at his decision to go back for a fucking tape recorder. Um, but the I mean the death scene, quote unquote. I mean it impacted me. Like I was like, wow. And there were certain points throughout the film where I was like, wow, like I think Mantis is about to die, or like I think Drax is about to die. So I think because I allowed myself to believe that, it made the experience better for me personally. I didn't think they would go so in depth to Rocket's upbringing. It was, I mean, really brutal and visceral, heartbreaking even. And of course, you know, his best friend's name was Lila, so that automatically struck a chord. Uh,
Talk about his
but
dog, guys.
yeah, my baby Lila. And yeah, like I think you know maybe some people would have an issue with how Adam Warlock was used. Personally, I didn't, but this is my first exposure to him, so like I'm sure all the comic book tryhards are just like, yeah, yeah. But for me, he was fine. He was what he was, and he was there just to get in the Guardians, which I noticed right away. So I'm fine with that. What I didn't really see coming in the way that it happened anyway was basically the dismemberment of the Guardians of the Galaxy as we know them. I mean, James Gunn said that this was going to be the last time we see this version of the Guardians, and I took that as somebody's going to die or whatever the case may be. But this nigga Peter Quill's just taking a sabbatical. Mantis doing the same thing basically. And yeah, I mean everybody else is just kind of split off. Nebula's ruling another world or whatever. Drax is being a father. Whatever. I mean that didn't necessarily bother me because it's Guardians of the Galaxy, and obviously the stakes just aren't the same as like an Avengers or whatever. But yeah, and the villain, the High, what's his name?
The High Evolutionary.
Yeah, him. He was screaming a lot. I'm not sure why. I mean,
a lot of tantrums.
Yeah, like maybe he thought that he was giving a performance, but I don't know. It was yeah, I mean, he was just screaming a lot. So yeah. But overall, man, I enjoyed it. I gave it a B. I thought it was a decent, or I'm sorry, I thought it was a good end to this trilogy and these characters that I personally love. Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one was an A film for me. Guardians of the Galaxy 2 was terrible. I gave that shit an F, okay, I guess I'll say a D. And this one I gave a B. So pretty decent trilogy for the MCU. I mean, I'm not sure if I guess Caps is still better, but yeah. Anyway, that's my opinion. What do you think?
Yeah, first of all, I just want to praise James Gunn for what he's been able to do with this franchise.
Oh,
sorry, go ahead.
One last thing, James Gunn is. I'm pretty sure I said this before. Thank you for reminding me. James Gunn is like so white, and he loves incorporating like nothing but like white music in his films. And obviously like he's white, right? Like this is the music that he grew up on that he holds near and dear to his heart. But it just gets, I don't want to use the word overwhelming because that's not correct. I don't want to say nauseating because that's not correct either. But it just gets annoying, like hearing all this music that he deems important to him in every single one of his films every 5 minutes. I think he did the same thing in Peacemaker. Like there could not be a scene where there was just something happening. Like there had to be some classic rock or whatever in the background of everything. And that's it's getting annoying. Is what I'm trying to say. Sorry, go ahead, Monty.
First of all, imagine a white nigga reviewing Creed. Like every single Creed movie, they're playing this fucking TDE.
If it's true, say it. Say it with your chest,
nigga. But anyway, first of all, I just want to praise James Gunn for what he's done with this trilogy. Even outside of the MCU, like just on its own, I think this trilogy will kind of stand the test of time. Like you can not be a Marvel fan at all and just enjoy this trilogy, not even seen any of the other movies. I feel like, and still, it's just a very wacky world, a unique world that I think he's put his stamp on with the Guardians of the Galaxy. I love the imagination and the creativity that was on display. But overall, honestly, I thought it was a good movie, but two things kind of fell short for me in the movie. I only see it once though. Number one is the emotional impact. It had some great emotional scenes with Rocket, like you said, it really did. But for some reason, I just feel like I didn't get the closure I wanted. Not only with Rocket, but just with everybody. It just felt like James Gunn didn't have the balls to really give us a real. It's hard to explain it. Like like it's not bad closure, but it just wasn't like end of trilogy. We'll never see this team again kind of closure.
You expected a death.
It's not even that. I did, but that's not why I didn't get the closure I wanted. It just felt like the story wasn't wrapped up in a way that I don't know that it just was satisfying. But to the movie's credit, I did hear a lot of tears. I actually heard people crying in my theater, like a lot. I heard a lot of tears. So maybe it just didn't work for me, but for most people, obviously, it might have. So that's good for them.
Bro.
What?
When Kraglin was trying to use the arrow in the end scene and Yondu came up for like a split second, like this one nigga clapped in my theater, bro. Like he clapped. And then when he realized nobody was clapping with him, he was like, oh. Like, nigga,
Bro,
like,
that happens all the time. Someone clapped during the movie when Groot used his wings, and
oh,
like
are you serious?
niggas was like, "What?" Anyway, yeah, that happens a lot. It's so funny.
That's dope.
And also the other aspect is just the storytelling aspect. Like when you have this many characters, we know it's hard to balance everybody out. But I do give James Gunn credit for like at least the core five got their just arcs. And also like bro, like let's give Nebula some praise, bro. Like I thought she was just nothing in part one, and now she might be like my favorite Guardian. Like she's had such character development. Karen Gillian kills her performance as her, even the physical acting. Mantis as well. Like she's been proven since like the Christmas special. Like she's a really good member of the team. She adds so much, to the team, and so James Gunn does a great job of giving these ancillary characters like really, like you said, deep meaning, and that you really actually care for them. And I think that's kind of what works best for these movies, just the camaraderie aspect and the chemistry between the team. Like no matter what's going on, whether you like it or not, you always appreciate, even in part two, which you hated. I like part two, but you always appreciate just that camaraderie and the team interactions, which I think this is like one of the best teams in movie history. I love this team. I can watch them do anything, which is why I enjoy the Christmas special. But now, I mean, let's talk some like certain points of the movie. I just want to get your opinion on. So this was the first F-bomb ever dropped in an MCU movie. Do you think it was used appropriately, or could you have done without it? Or did you laugh when Star
I
Lord dropped?
laughed. I
Yeah,
laughed. I mean, could I have done without it? Of course I could have.
yeah.
But,
I mean, yeah, I guess so.
I guess they wanted to get it in there. It was the finale. It's the last one. I don't know.
Yeah.
When it happened, I laughed and I moved on. It did literally. I wasn't even thinking about it.
Yeah, and I guess if anyone was going to drop the F bomb, it would be James Gunn to pop it off. Um, the whole thing with Rocket kind of reminded me, just his whole storyline reminded me a lot of Planet of the Apes, just in terms of like thematically, like you're experimenting on an animal, it becomes smart, it rebels, it becomes a leader. Like that's just Planet of the Apes straight out of the thing. Um, Adam Warlock, I don't have that much. I know who he is. Like I'm not like an avid Adam Warlock comic reader, but I know who he is. I do think he was used in a way that was just for like comedic effect. And but first of all, his opening scene was dope as fuck.
I was about to say, what you mean comedic? That nigga was beating niggas' ass.
The opening scene was great, but after that, I would have wanted more Will Poulter's Adam Warlock. But when you're concluding a story, you got to get the core in there first in terms of their arc. So I get it. And the whole thing with Peter at the end when he was floating into, I was like, Adam Warlock about to come any moment. I saw that coming a mile away. The High Evolutionary as a villain. Yeah, like you said, a lot of screaming. I think the actor. I give him like, first of all, he's Murn from Peacemaker.
Yep.
Okay, he's going for it every time. I give him credit for that, but I just don't know if it always like landed. I guess.
Yeah.
But he's going for it every time. Like, he's giving it his all. But I've seen like some reviews on TikTok. Niggas are calling him like one of the best MCU villains. I'm like, people say that about everybody. Like
They do. Literally.
it's yeah, I don't know. The fight scene though towards the end, guys, if you haven't watched it, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when you see it. There's this one extended fight scene where every character gets their kind of just due. I thought that was like one of the best MCU fights I've seen, like in the entire all 20 plus movies. Like that was just an amazing fight scene. Like you know what I'm talking about? Like you're in the hallway, like Groot gets his shine, Rocket gets
like
his shine.
that loud ass song over the entire fight. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
That was just an amazing fight scene. Great fight choreography on that. And yeah, overall, like I said, I enjoyed it. I was a little let down just because it wasn't the A movie I thought it was going to be. But a B is still good. And who knows? It's just first watch. My opinions always tend to change on second watch, either for the better or for the worse. So we'll see. Any more thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't mention that James Gunn put his wife in another movie. That's like your joke.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it coming. She's fine, by the way. And of course, his brother Sean Gunn's in it.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's been in all of them. So
yeah,
that doesn't matter. But
yeah, James Gunn likes to work with people, So I'm pretty sure he'll bring some of the Guardians into DC as well. I'm actually positive of it.
What did you think about the post-credit scene?
First one, okay. Second one was waste my fucking time. Marvel's has him by the ball at this point. They can do anything. I'll be waiting for weeks. Why?
Because I stopped going. I mean, I stopped waiting for the second post-credit scene like 3 years ago.
Oh,
like
okay.
I just don't do it anymore because 99% of the time it's bullshit or it's something that like I can just read about online or watch on YouTube tomorrow. Like it's just not worth it. And this was another one of them. So yeah.
But speaking of that, I think the whole thing with Peter Quill, like at the end it says Star-Lord will return. It says only him, like not the Guardians will return. I'm thinking they're gonna do the old man Star-Lord or Old Man Peter comic that they did arc. It's kind of like Old Man Logan. And guys, if you haven't checked that out, or I highly recommend if you want to get into comic books, like that's a really great arc. So hopefully they can do that. That could be really dope.
I just thought they meant that he's going to come back in the next Avengers film.
Possibly because he's on Earth now, but I think they might go the Old Man Peter arc. That'd be really cool. Just last bit of news here, guys. As we already predicted 2 pods ago, Mario Brothers has become the first movie to make $1 billion this year. No surprise there. Had a huge opening first couple of weeks. So yeah,
that's awesome.
AMC CEO Adam Aaron says that they are currently working on a new sequel to Nicole Kidman's ad. His quote is, "I'm not sure when we're going to do it, this year or next year, but we'll try to live up to the expectations when the time comes." So,
oh God,
y'all niggas are like 5 years late. But anyway,
it's so funny because I used to go to both. I mean, now I'm back at Regal because the AMC here it has a lot of issues. But Regal has one of these things too, where they play something before the film or whatever. But what is this noise? I think it's your fan again. But anyway, yeah, they've changed it like 3 or 4 times. Like there's like so many different ones that like I don't even remember. Like, but like the Sarah Paulson one is what they had it since the pandemic started, I believe. So. Yeah, they're annoying. They just need to stop and just play the movie because Jesus Christ, you get through 20 minutes of previews, an ad for AMC Stubs members, and then right when you think it's about to start, it's like here she goes again, walking up these fucking steps. But yeah,
and they kind of that Nicole Kidman ad like literally word for word. I go to the movie like once a week. It's it's kind of annoying. And last bit of news here, guys, is for those who don't know, there is a writer's strike in Hollywood. It's ongoing right now. This will have big implications if you don't know what those implications are. This happened in 2008. That was the last time it happened. Writers are demanding more in terms of their contracts, and so basically, like all the late night shows have been canceled. Not canceled, but they've stopped airing new episodes because they want to show solidarity with the writers. And all this means that we're probably getting a lot of movies going to be pushed back probably because when writers are going on strike, they're not making movies, and so. If you have a slate for 2023, they're probably going to push some of those in 2024 because for like a good amount of time, we won't get any new movies or any new shows, and so that can have some really big implications. Do you care about the writer's strike, or do you have any thoughts you want to say about that?
I mean, yeah. I mean, first of all, the good thing is that this isn't universal. This mostly just impacts Hollywood. Mm-hmm. So certain studios that have their own divisions that are paying better. Yeah.
Oh, Tyler Perry winning right now. Huh?
Well, I mean, it's not just him. I mean, he's not the only creator in the world, but yeah. So like the big budget Hollywood films, yeah, sure, those are going to be on standstill, but there will still be content out there, and hopefully this strike will help them seek the wages that they think they deserve or whatever, so we can get the content. That's all I care about is the content.
Same here. These strikes are always annoying because like. It's gonna be like way less movies in 2024 now, probably. But anyway, guys, that wraps it up. You have any more thoughts, Julian?
Go see Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I hope you guys enjoy it. Mondi, you're the best.
And go see Polite Society.
Polite Society.
Yeah, Polite Society, pretty good movie. Yeah.
Don't do it, guys. Don't do it. All right, thanks, Mondi.
Bye.